first dollar I earned as a bodybuilder. Wow, it's taking me way back. I guess we'll have to be on 8x10s and going after I won the nationals and going to my first pro show, my pro debut, the GNC Show of Strength. And I got 8x10s made, and some people actually bought them. Who would have figured? But it worked for me. What was my plan when I turned pro? It's probably the worst plan ever, if you ever ask anyone else this question, because I had no idea. It happened so fast. Honestly, turning pro, I competed a couple shows, and then, like I said, I went to the Junior Nationals. It was like my fourth show I ever competed in, and won that one, and then decided to, take it further. And then my second pro qualifying show, I turned pro. So I didn't know none of the guys. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a trainer. Matter of fact, the diet I used was the diet I got from this guy when I was still in the military, and I went to get a part-time job as a trainer at a powerhouse gym. And he was a trainer there, and we talked, and he was like, "When was you born?" I was like, 1971, and he laughed and said, "That's when I did my first bodybuilding contest." So that was really funny to me, of course. And he was like, "You know what, I'm gonna help you out." And we sat down, and he wrote me out a diet, and I used that diet from that day until I won the Junior Nationals. So it's something to say about keeping things simple, and don't fix it if it's not broke. And not come up with all these different things to do. Just keep it simple and head down that path. So it's a big thing about keeping things simple and staying, on your plan, to succeed. And so I really didn't have a big plan afterwards. I remember coming home after winning the Nationals, sitting on my couch the next day going, okay, what do I do now? How do I go on the shows? Who do I talk to? I honestly had no idea where to go from there. Eventually, within a few weeks, I got a letter in the mail, and it had all the lists of the shows and a little bit of other stuff kind of explaining it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of started going down that path and figured it out eventually. Yeah, making a living as a bodybuilder. I don't think anyone should go in thinking that you're going to have this huge successful career as a bodybuilder. Don't get me wrong, you can have a huge successful career as a bodybuilder, but you can't expect to make all this money. There's two separate things. You can have a successful career with, gaining the respect, going into shows, showing up at shows, placing well, and in the top 3 or top 5 at least, pretty much all your shows. So you can be successful that way. Money-wise, you can't expect to. It costs money. You'll end up spending more money than you make in the long run if you're not smart. But I have to say, with social media, now that the social media aspect has come into it, there is a few other avenues that you're going to have to take now. Because, when I first turned pro, it was all about contracts, getting that big, huge supplement contract, clothing contract, equipment contract, they were out there to get. These days, not so much. Each supplement company, clothing company, they have ambassadors, and there's a million of them seem like these days. And so there's no need for, so many pro athletes when you have 50 million people going, this is a great product, because you hear something enough, you start to believe it anyway, But like I said, now that social media crept in, there's different avenues. You got to be smart about what you do. Film your workouts, film your cooking, film you going shopping, film your everyday, what you do, and put it out there. This is a world of now of reality TV shows, so with saying that, there's that avenue of marketing yourself, making yourself famous when it comes to Instagram or the social media aspect, so you can make money in that way. Because just straight up competing on stage, you're really limited to the funds that you can make, and the life that you can lead as a bodybuilder in that way. With all my Olympias that I accumulated over the years, which one stands out to me? I would have to say probably the 2006 Mr. Olympia, because that was the first year I won my first pro show, the Montreal Pro. So I was nailing it. I was really grooving, super healthy, you know, no body ailments or, you know, injuries, no body injuries or anything like that. So everything was working just right. My body looked good, at the right age. No. But anyway, like I said, everything seemed to be grooving in 2006. Like I said, I won my first pro show, and it looked my best, I thought, you know, and brought it in, and I ended up ninth that year as well. So that was my best placing at the Mr. Olympia as well. So that's the one that stands out to me. What stands out at the Olympia that I'm glad that I got to see? Well, just the years that Ronnie was Mr. Olympia alone, it was just, you know, just an honor, you know, to, you know, be in the lineup, to stand on stage, to know, like, that these days, my retirement days, I can, you know, look back and think back like, man, I got to stand on stage with him, you know, during his prime. I mean, it was just a wonder to see this guy in shape. I mean, I don't know if we ever will see, you know, that again on stage. You know, that much conditioning, mass, and completeness, if that's a word. I don't know if we'll ever see that again on stage.